This is Gene Krebs.
Hi there. Oh. Whoosh.
And we're high on Ohio.
I ran for Secretary of State in 1998.
That's right.
And
You've run statewide,
I
and
have.
I got to tell you, we've interviewed some people who have run statewide, and oh my gosh, people do not understand what that is like.
That's right. And I try and share with anyone who wants to run statewide that you have to have a love of people. You certainly have to have the energy and the capacity to go to all parts of the state of Ohio to pick up on what those needs are for that part of the state, and to basically understand that all people want the same things, even though we have different geographies and different cultural patterns within our geographies. People are still the same throughout the state of Ohio. They want the same things. They may come at it a little differently. And if we look at ourselves as state legislators, not district representatives, not graduated city council members or township trustees.
Oh, you are so right on that.
Then we'll do what's in the best interest of all of our residents. And in the early years when I was in the House of Representatives, was developing a coalition of legislators. We have these caucuses now, but back in the 90s, what we did is developed the coalition of urban and rural elected officials. It was called CURE. And what we saw is in the Appalachian communities, the rural areas of the state, the urban centers of the state, we had common issues. Poverty, lack of job opportunities, education systems that needed assistance, and healthcare shortages. And so we came together as legislators around those issues. And in some parts of my Senate district and in Senate districts all across the state of Ohio, you can have upwards of 40, 50% of the young people not being employed, the African-American males in particular. And that's part of the issue for me as an African-American legislator. I believe our responsibility is to help those who need the help of government most, those that are hurting the most, whether we're talking about young African-American males and their poverty rates, their lack of education, whether we're talking about health care, because again, in many of the disease areas, African Americans and other people of color have 2 to 3 times the rates of mortality and morbidity as our Caucasian population.
Now, let's face it, menthol cigarettes is targeted entirely towards one population.
That's exactly right.
And I've seen research that says there actually is a genetic predisposition for a liking of menthol cigarettes.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Criminal justice system, fairness, impartiality, and equality in how we treat people. That is not true, and we had a commission back in the 90s called the Commission on Racial Fairness. Justice Moyer and a team of lawyers and judges.
We miss Tom, don't we?
Yes. And they went through the entire criminal justice system from decision to arrest and what we charge people with all the way through sentencing. And what that commission found is that we do not have a fair, impartial, and equal justice system for racial populations. African Americans specifically, but racial and ethnic populations. If a person does not have a good health for that individual, their health is not optimal, they're not going to be ready to learn, and they're not going to be ready to earn. So they're not going to be able to go to school and become educated, and they're not going to be ready for employment. Better understanding ourselves, our own biases, understanding, appreciating other people, their culture, who they are, not trying to make everyone fit into a round hole, that we are all just alike, because we're not. To say that I don't see color means you don't see me.
So, not asking you to tip your legislative hand, you going to try something in the mid-biennial review coming up?
We may just do that, but we definitely have it on our legislative agenda, absolutely.
For more about the Center for Community Solutions or their publications, please visit www.communitysolutions.com.